Hi everyone, it's Allie and I'm here to do a tarot tag. I haven't done a tarot tag in ages and I'm pretty excited about it because I'm really in this hearth and home mindset. So that's the tag you could see from the title. This is from Dawn Michelle over at Boho Tarot, and I'll link the original videos below, but there's lots of great responses to this one because those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we're hunkering down and getting ready for winter. And even more so, I'm in Canada, so we've already had our Thanksgiving and we're going to have our Remembrance Day, like our Veterans Day in Canada, this coming Thursday, and then it's going to be like all Christmas all the time here. And my American friends are gearing up for their Thanksgiving, which will be coming in a couple of weeks. So this is the time after Halloween where we sort of close in on ourselves and we think about the home and we sort of prepare. I spent all morning cooking. That's the sort of mood that I'm in. So let's take a look at some decks. So there are 8 prompts here. I'll link them all below in case you want to make your own little video, which would be awesome, or let me know in the comments what you think and what you'd choose for any of your decks. But the first prompt is Hearth and Home. So the deck that makes you think about just of being at home, that home feeling, and not going to be a surprise here, you guys. What can I say? What can I say? It's my home deck. I've talked a lot about how a version of this deck, it was the Plaid Backs, was my first tarot deck. And I think too, because it's the deck I always have with me. If I'm planning to do a reading for someone, if they come to my house or in these pandemic times, if we've set up a Zoom, then, oh, I've got 2 there. Then I've got lots of decks to choose from, but this is the one I always carry. This happens to be the one in the tin, but I have often with me the large size one. Sorry. Why am I showing even? Everybody knows this deck. So when I think about like the one that's always, always, always there, my home deck, it's this one because it's just such a great deck for getting things done. So that was my choice for Hearth and Home. The second prompt is a deck that makes you think about gathering together, right? It's a time of celebration and a time of bringing people together. This is a fairly new deck to me, but it has shot up to the top of my list of favorites. I use it all the time for myself, for other people, for week ahead readings. And it's the Superlunaris Tarot. This is the box. And you can follow them on Instagram, Superlunaris Tarot, I think is their name. And it is just... Now, this one was a super close contender for a later prompt, so I'll talk about that in a later prompt. But I just feel like the people in it are just like reminiscent of people in my own life. Let me find some good people cards here. Like there's great representation, right? As you can see, one of the real challenges of the Smith-Waite deck is that it's all white people and everybody looks the same, but not so this deck. And oh, it's so beautiful. It reads beautifully. It's such a good one. And just like, I don't know, I want to get together with all these people. Just a few more because I can't help myself because it's so sweet and nice. Look at that. Oh, isn't she gorgeous? Fire Eater. What? A couple more. I'm sorry, I'm just skipping ones that don't have people in them since this is a pretty people-y prompt. Okay, one more because I love this one so much. Ugh, so great. So the Superlunaris Tarot is my choice for Gather Together, and I do love it. Okay, the deck that lights up your life. This was a hard one because a lot of my decks light up my life, there's no question. But there is this one little workhorse, this one little clone, Rider-Waite-Smith clone, that I just really love. I don't see people talking about it very much, but it is the Vivid Journey Tarot by Jessica Allaire. I'll show you the box. It did have one print run, and then I think it went out of print, which is a bummer. But I don't think it's that difficult to find on eBay, nor, which is how I found it, nor was it very expensive to do so. But the sorry, the colors are so beautiful. Sorry, let me get out of the swords here. Show some different ones. And it's also no nonsense. Like, it's a great deck. It's not gonna, oh, look at the Hermit. It's not just gonna sugarcoat anything for you. But when I need some brightness in my life, literally and figuratively, this whole deck is great. Like, look at the Lovers. Oh, so tender. Oh my God, I love them so much. Let's find a couple others. So the suits are color coded, so you can really see a variation in the suits. Like, there's the cups, very blues. Swords are very purple. The wands are very red. There we go. And look at the moon. Just do there. So, I don't know. I just really like it. I never see people talking about it. And I don't know. I think it's a great deck. And even look at the backs. Did I show you the backs before? Like, lights up my life. I love it. Okay, rainy days. This was tough, actually, because I was like, well, what deck do I want to look at on a rainy day? I want to look at all of them on a rainy day. This one, again, is not going to be a surprise. It's the Tarot of Trees. Could have taken out my small version. Would have been easier to manage. Didn't. I love this deck so much. And so my justification for rainy day is that if it's not a rainy day, I want to be out in the woods. And if it is a rainy day, I still want to be out in the woods. So this is the way I can do it. I almost actually picked this for my Hearth and Home deck because I just love being among trees. There are beach people and there are mountain people and there are forest people, and I am a forest person above the other two for sure. So I did almost choose it for that, but I don't know. This was a really hard tag, actually. It's just so beautiful. And actually, on rainy days, I actually go out to the forest, in which case I wouldn't take this beautiful deck because I wouldn't want it to get ruined. So maybe I screwed up that prompt, but whatever. It's had to be in this Hearth and Home series, this tag, and I love it. So there. Okay, back in the box, you. It is so massive. It's hard to wrangle it. Harvest Nights. Why do I even bother to do an intro? You guys are going to be so sick of me. I can't. The Halloween Tarot. It's just the folliest deck, although there was another Halloween themed tarot on Kickstarter that I backed. I'm going to have 2 Halloween decks. I do also have the Tricker Tarot, but I use it to look at it because it's fun, but I just never read with it. I should rehome it. But it's for me to get rid of something Halloween themed is tough. But there's just something, this is just so much about the childhood fun of Halloween and those harvest nights and those bonfires when it would get dark early and you just have a good time with your friends and family. This like, sort of, I don't know, something about this deck is very like Americana to me. I'm Canadian, but whatever. Our border is so culturally porous that it's all the same. Like, come on now. You can't. Harvest Nights, 100%. Could not have been anything else. You can see me gush about this deck in my Everything I've Learned From series on the Halloween Tarot. The Halloween Tarot is why I have not gotten the Dark Mansion, because I just think I'd never use it. This other one, though, does look really cute. I think I will use it. And then I'll be just Halloweened out all the time. Okay, Handmade with Love. Now, this was the category Superlunaris almost went into, because you can see, let me just show it again because it's so pretty. Like, I love the way the titles look like it's been torn out. I love that collage-y feel. It absolutely looks handmade with love to me. But even more so, I thought it fit the category better, and this was so good for Gather Together, was the Spolia Tarot. Now, partly this is because I know that the creator did hand make this with love, that this wasn't computer manipulation. It was like, I heard her on a podcast and she was like, I should say creators. There are 2 of them. I don't have their names at the top of my head. She was like, yeah, scissors and paper and glue and images that I have in file folders, and then going to Kinko's and scanning them, like literally handmade with love. And it's just such a groovy deck. I love it. Unfortunately, this one's also out of print now, I think. They had 2 editions. This is the 2nd edition. And it's really cool. I would have loved the titles to be a little cooler, like in the Superlunaris, but that's a tiny quibble because I just, it's so groovy. And just knowing that process, that crafting, creating process, I just love it. Now, it's a humongous deck. Look at that. Because it's also got all the astrological signs in there. Just going to flip through those. Got elemental cards. Oh, look at the world. Wow. Just the whole deck is so cool. This 4 of Swords. I love the use of space. Just, it's so groovy. And just the painstaking time that this would have taken. Just looking for another one of my favorites here, but there's so many cards I'm never going to find it. What a fool's errand this is. Like, such a great deck. So that was my choice, the Boho Tarot for Handmade with Love. Look at me trying to get it all back together. Oh my God. Okay. Thankful, grateful, blessed. I feel like all my decks make me feel this way. This was maybe the hardest one because it was just like, I'm thankful I have tarot decks and so many decks. It's too many. And I'm thankful that I can work with them and read them. And I'm thankful that they make my friends happy and blah, 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 blah. But in the end, I think it's because I've been using it so much because this deck always is such a November deck. I think I might make a video about November decks for me because Halloween's over, Christmas is coming. For me, there's no Thanksgiving in the middle. So November is like this, just a very specific month, sort of in my emotional calendar. And I love it in November. It just, I don't know. It's Pagan Otherworlds. I've talked a lot about this deck and how I thought I wouldn't like it. And then I was like, but it's so pretty. I gotta. And then I just love it. It reads for me like a dream. And maybe too, I think another really thing that makes this deck so special is that this was my first foray into more pip cards. And the way they were designed, you can see like there's a hint there. Okay, so the 5 of Wands, there's conflict. We've got 2 sides, tents of 2 colors. The wands are sort of crossed against each other. There's enough there to give you the confidence to read a more pippy card. Right, there's another good example, the 8 of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands. Oh God, I'm coming up with lots of wands here. Let's just skip a few here. Oh, look at that sun. I'm very grateful to this deck. I'm very thankful for this deck for that reason. And I just adore it at this time of year. It really just makes me feel like that closing in on the darker time of the year. And it's such, I do think if someone put a gun to my head and said, what is the most beautiful deck you own? It might still have to be this one. I just think the art is so gorgeous. Anyway, that's my pick. Okay, and that means, oh, sorry, I'm having real trouble today picking up my cards. What's going on? My last one is Comfy Cozy. And this one was not a hard pick for this prompt. Like this, I shouldn't say this prompt, for this tag, because I knew it was going to have to make it into this tag somehow, somewhere. It was in a bunch of different categories before it made it into Comfy Cozy. And it could probably have actually fit every single one of these categories. It's the Anna Kay Tarot. And this was the very first deck I did. My very first series video of everything I've learned from, insert deck here, was the Anna Kay, because it just had such a profound effect on me. Another deck I did not think I would like when I first got it. Almost didn't get because of the art style. I was like, it won't work for me. I don't like the faces. wrong, 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 wrong. And I just chose Comfy Cozy, not because, again, it's not difficult, or not difficult, that's not the word I want. Not because it's not like a cotton candy deck. But I feel very comfortable with it. And I feel very happy having a conversation with this deck when I pull it out. I feel very comfortable. I feel like we can just be straight with each other. And it makes me happy. As you can see, it also sort of fit into the gather together category. Like the people in this deck I feel very connected to now. Look at that hermit. I just, I love it. But I think it's my level of comfort came so far with this deck, and now I just love pulling it out. I love working with it. It's fantastic. It's such a good deck. And you can get the indie version for not that much more than it costs to get the mass market version. But I say this all the time. I love the indie version. I love the cardstock. I love the tiny titles. I love the more faded colors. But lots of people like the mass market better. The colors are a bit more vibrant. They're set against a black border, which really makes them pop. The only reason I haven't gotten it is because I don't feel like I need more than one. But whatever floats your boat. It's such a great deck. So, Hearth and Home. I've really been enjoying watching everyone's videos. I hope you might consider making one too, or just adding in the comments which ones you might choose for these great prompts. Thanks to Don Michelle for such a great tag, and we'll be seeing you soon. Bye.